Okay, episode number 10, everybody. Breaking ROX podcast. Excited to be back again. Barry, how you feeling?
Yeah, good. Feeling good.
Good?
Yes.
Good. Jake, how you feeling?
Great. Excited to be back.
Excited to be back.
Love it.
We've got Barry Vermeulen with us today on my left. Introduce yourself, Barry. And, what do you do around here?
Yeah, thanks, Reece. Thanks for having us on. Privileged to be here. I'm the procurement lead for Bentec and look after a bit of supply chain as well, but predominant focus is through procurement and the procurement lead, and excited to be here. Excited to explore what we do.
Yeah, very much so. Well, segueing into that, what does an average day look like for you at the moment?
You're thinking like before work, or we going? Should we kick it off?
Start there.
You can start before work.
Yeah, average day. Waking up, bit of reading, bit of processing, bit of thought gathering for the day. Then we do a trek out of the hills.
What time do you do that?
We're aiming to kick it off around about 5 o'clock by the time we get to work, but 4 a.m. normally the bell hits, and
rightio.
Then we head down here and trying to work off the bit of the gut that we got going on. So bit of a workout, and then clean up, and then into the day as it comes. But typically it's anything from sort of supplier management, bit of strategy, working through the stock control at the moment.
That's a big job.
Yeah, it's
kind of a beast, that one, eh?
Yeah, current topic. It's key though, very key.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, then we work through that, and then lunch comes along, provided by Bentec. So thank you.
Thank you, leadership.
Yeah,
it's very good.
Shout out to that.
Some of the meals we get from there are awesome too.
Oh,
I had the broccoli beetroot salad today.
Yeah,
it's delicious.
There's too many. There's a lot of dangerous options on there though.
Yeah, well, I try and steer clear.
Yeah, we'll leave you to that.
Yeah,
me and Jake will head into the carb territory.
Yeah, a few burgers, a few meat boxes, a few kebabs.
Yeah.
It is good though. They do a good service, and it's awesome provision by leadership. Everybody getting their lunches provided for here. It's very good.
Oh yeah,
it's very cool. I've only just started dabbling in it actually.
Yeah.
Just been a little bit lazy in terms of my meal prep, and I have discovered that there is quite a few very healthy options on there that would take me more time to make myself than it is worth. So,
yeah, good, absolutely good to point that up.
Anyway,
that range, but so that's lunch.
That's lunch.
And then onto the afternoon. Try and do a bit of movement during lunch, so you're fired up for the afternoon. And more of the same. Procuring strategy, helping out where we can, finding the bright spots in the day.
Very good. Yeah. So I guess tailing off from that comment around strategy, what are some initiatives you're working on at the moment, strategically? Yeah,
that's a good question. We're working towards looking at the entire supply chain, and from a strategy perspective, we're trying to bring it down, put a bit more spend through less suppliers.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to look at building value into those relationships with them, having the win-win. Firm believer in a win-win relationship with our suppliers, two-way street, and looking for long-term stuff out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then make sure that aligns back up with the goals and the vision of where the company's heading.
Yep.
So, pretty much from a strategic point of view, looking at those angles of it, and then looking at Australian suppliers, supporting local, very, very important for us.
Yeah, 100%.
And just getting in that overall flow going, the old flywheel effect. I've heard Zig Ziglar go over and many others.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Very good. And what have you? I know we've got some good relationships, some long-standing relationships with some of our suppliers. What are some of the, in saying that, what are some of the challenges, or what are some of the criteria that you look for in an ideal supplier?
Yeah, that's a good question. Thanks for that. So an ideal supplier that we're looking for comes through basically in our vetting of them, I suppose, is primarily someone with ISO 9001 accreditation.
Yep.
That's quite important for what we're doing. Obviously, if they don't have that, proof of use of a quality management system is good. But we're looking for suppliers they're easy to deal with, they're responsive, they're going to give us accurate times on what they're doing, good quality, and have qualities or in-house values that line up with what we do at Bentec.
And how do you find that? Do a lot of the people that you come across align with that, or have our kind of, like what do you sort of think in terms of the suppliers that are out there that fit with us? Is there a lot of them out there?
Yeah, surprisingly, there is quite a few that do line up with what we do or what we're looking for. Obviously, having a network's key, and everybody sort of communicates at a more authentic level. I feel at a network level,
mm-hmm.
and then finding them through that network, and then bringing them on board. Obviously, make sure we're vetting them correctly. You find the average family-owned and also other non-family-owned ones do line up with those values, which is awesome to see. It's a testament to Australia really as a country, I think.
Yeah, I think we do have some good supply in general and industry in general in Western Australia, and Australia is quite good.
Mm.
We've got some really strong capability here. I mean, obviously, we're part of that framework as a business, but being able to find partnerships that align with our overall mission and vision is really important. And it's something that it's to do with there's a reflection. Our suppliers are a reflection of us, which is a reflection to our clients, right? And I think there's that whole thing around ESG scores, which I know we discussed earlier.
Yes.
That's what that kind of feeds into, isn't it? Right?
Yeah, absolutely. That's critical on that front. The ESG criterion that we look for as well. Probably something I should have picked up on.
What do you think? What can you tell us about that?
The main thing we looked on the environmental side, just to touch on these, the sourcing sustainably. So what we're looking at, it has got a long-term sustainability about it, and doing what's right from an environmental perspective in that space.
And what does that look like here? We're obviously talking about things like packaging.
Yeah, packaging comes down to even the how power's delivered even through to other processing plants.
Yep.
Around your aluminium suppliers, your steel suppliers, it's all very connected in that space.
Interesting. And what about S in ESG?
The social side of things.
Yeah.
That's I'd have to say the top of that would be Elevate, our charity.
Yeah, Elevate Arm. Yep.
Yeah, from the social side, great move by the company. But
yeah, yep. And what is that? What have you? I know you're involved in some sort of socially responsible sort of projects that we're connected to too, right? Like rapid relief and things like that. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, absolutely. Rapid relief team that works in well through the Elevate charity that we got. We donate and support rapid relief team.
Mm-hmm.
For those that don't know, it's a charity, not for profit, that supports emergency services, and we really set out. I think we look back last month or so, and where it kicked off was in the Irish potato famine.
Yeah, okay.
And that's the first recorded instance of a RRT member helping other groups. Obviously, it goes back a lot further than that.
Yep.
But that's how far back it's come from. So it's an important background where it's come from, and it's come up today, 2024, where we have the emergency service relief, cooking them good food and helping them out, and then you've got youth and disability, also support those at a disadvantage, and more recently a bit into education. So Bentec's a strong advocate of that. I'm very passionate, as you could probably hear about myself.
Yeah.
It's really cool to see a lot of you guys getting out there, and you've seen a lot of photos of your tent set up, and around the time of had some pretty major bushfires going around, and you guys are there to help out. People who are not sure if their homes are still there or not. It's a pretty crazy time for a lot of people, and you guys set up there and help provide all the necessary stuff they need, and that's a really cool initiative.
It's it's so important what you say. It's not just food and shelter that people need. It's that reassurance and that mental support, stability, which is so important today.
Sure.
Day and age.
Yeah, 100%. It really is. And you yourself are quite a big part of the rapid relief team, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a small part of a big entity, but I'm a passionate advocate for what's local, and I myself am just the Armidale team leader. So
yeah, that's what I'm sort of getting at. You're a team leader for rapid relief, aren't you?
Yeah.
So that's a really noble thing of you.
Yeah.
To dedicate your time and sacrifice your time for the greater good. But yeah, I know that the rapid relief team has done some amazing things, like you touched on with the bushfires and helping out the fireys, and even what are some of the other things that the rapid relief team gets involved in, like some of the stuff that's happened recently?
Yeah, they're involved in a lot of things. Probably most significantly is our operation into Ukraine.
Mm-hmm.
So we're doing a lot of food boxes on an ongoing basis there. It was initially a project set up, so they had the boxes manufactured in factories in the UK and Germany, and then had it shipped in. And more recently, we've set up those that have been displaced internally in Ukraine to be part of the team to put that together.
Yep.
So it gives them purpose and gives them meaning.
Yeah, wow.
So that's the other across the equator. But then coming closer to home, it's floods and fires, and New Zealand, they've been putting up kilometres and kilometres of fencing in a donation for the farmers.
Yeah, wow.
So yeah, it's our motto is getting the help to where the need is. It is one of the key mottos of us, and it's only companies like Bentec and podcasts like this with you guys on it that make it all possible. So
yeah, well, obviously we're a very small part of a massive wheel, I think, but I think Bentec's alignment with that kind of thing is a testament to our leadership and testament to what we're about, and we all do rally together. Even internally, we kind of embody that. The whole mantra is to elevate everyone, or elevate the lives of everyone we come in contact with, right? And our values and stuff reflect that as well. That's great, Baz. Yeah. I think the work you've done there is amazing, and it's great to have such a I think it's great to have someone who's so close to all of that stuff working for us and doing your thing. So thank you. What can you my next question I had for you is, is there anything, so I guess us being us looking for suppliers and things like that is one thing. Do you get much involved in what our clients are looking for in a supplier and how we need to align with them?
Yeah, definitely. I think that's absolutely key that you bring that up. There has to be alignment from what the end user or the client's looking for to then what we can supply them and how we supply that. That definitely has a flow-on effect through that whole chain, and alignment's absolutely key in that. Yeah.
I guess if the scrutiny we put our suppliers under, we're getting put under that same scrutiny. And I guess the more we're kind of scrutinized is, for lack of a better word, it's a bit of a rough word, but if we're scrutinized by our suppliers, then we have to in turn scrutinize. So if we're scrutinized by our clients, we have to then scrutinize our suppliers in an equal way, don't we?
Yeah, absolutely. So you've got that quality of product and that sovereignty and that security.
Yep.
That you can deliver on up the line here.
And I think the sovereignty thing you just touched on is a big one, especially given that we kind of, the Bentec group as a whole, are kind of foraying into some more defence work. The sovereign capability is a huge thing for defence, and us being Australian made, West Australian made, that's a big deal.
Yeah, 100%. It's I think it's key to who we are as a company and who Australia is as a country. It's it's critical to have that in-house capability that we offer.
Yep.
On the ground, and that alignment. You've got that sure base that your goods are coming from to align with that sovereignty and keeping it sovereign.
Absolutely. Now, you weren't always in the procurement space, were you? For Bentec? No. What about your journey through Bentec, and how do you think that, I guess, looking through a procurement lens, your time in the sales team, was there many synergies there crossing over? Was there anything that was the unexpected kind of happy coincidence that you might have learned in sales that kind of helped you out in your procurement position?
Yeah, definitely. But before we jump into that, I'd like to step back and a shout out to vision of true leaders that can see potential in someone in a different area and actually tap into that ahead of that individual even understanding what was there or how they operated, and I'll always be thankful for that. Yeah,
exactly. You're speaking about yourself as that case right now, aren't you?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Good lesson for everyone that's listening. Never ever stop learning, ever. Learn how to learn. But to answer your question, Reece, there's definitely synergies between the two. And I think it's helped me in understanding what we are needing to deliver, to be able to go back and say, this is what the true understanding of what a client wants. And the synergies across the product range, especially stepping into procurement, you're learning more detail of it.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
and I think that can be transferred both ways as well. Which is excellent.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you are obviously being in part of the sales team. You'd spent a little bit of time out on site, and you could really, you were speaking to our main clients and seeing our products out there. So you're able to gain a really good understanding of what they need, and then obviously you may not be out as you're probably not out on site as much now in your current role, and so that experience funneling back in, I'm sure is that just sums up what you're saying there. I guess I'm sure that's been a big helping hand for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of helping hands, the vision of those that work under now as well, our current CFO and the strategic input and the vision they have, it really points up that how good a team playing together with a high trust is in it. And I think I'm very excited. I think that's all we've got, and it's exciting to see where it's heading.
Yeah, that's trust. Yeah, that's a good thing. Trust is a big one. I think we do have a lot of trust throughout the organisation here.
Yeah,
people are put in positions to do their job, and they're kind of left to do so. I definitely feel that.
100%.
And that's a really powerful thing. It's that whole speed of trust thing, right?
Yeah.
We've all learned plenty about that over the years. And it's really, really important, I think, and especially in your role in procurement, when you're being trusted to vet suppliers, create new relationships, build existing relationships, you need that trust, right?
Yeah, 100%. It's what you say about the speed of trust. I think we see that even more so in a supplier field, how important that is, and to maintain and build that. Absolutely.
Very good.
What would you say, like, since transitioning from sales into your current role in procurement? It's a tough word to say sometimes. What would you say a couple of the, like, maybe your biggest wins are, something that you can sort of, like, I don't know, that you're pretty stoked to see that since you've started, you've been able to put into motion and see is creating a lot of value for Bentec? Yeah,
absolutely. I think one of the biggest things that we managed to achieve, I can't put the honours on myself, it's always as a team.
Always a team, yeah.
But is process mapping what's happened and then looking at the processes going forward on a continuous improvement level.
Sure.
And then implementing things that we did need to tweak and need to adjust. And then seeing the results or the efficiencies flow out of that. I'm a big fan of getting a system, getting the right people in the right seat in the system, and then watching that flow. It's quite exciting. But you've got that, which I'm very proud about, and then you've got major contract negotiation. I didn't really understand before the importance of having a good procurement team in place, just how that impacts everything on the team, your bottom line, and everything that goes with that.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see that. Proud of what was in place already, and then proud of what we managed to achieve by adjusting some of those processes and moving forward. I'm sure there's plenty more to go.
Yeah, really good. Well, I guess it just shores a lot of these processes up, and it's we've got you there to I guess govern it in a way and make sure that everything, like maybe in the past there were some things that were just going on which were like things work right from being the small company that we were growing into a larger company, and as the company's grown, you do have to shore up a lot of these processes, and having someone there to do it, and I'm sure seeing it for yourself how that's improved, and we can see it, we can see how a lot of these processes are definitely having a positive impact overall on the company, and that's really cool. It's good.
Well, we've given you a bit of a grilling on your professional sense. What is so you touched on a little bit earlier around some of the things you get up to in the morning. So what are some of the stuff that sort of gets you going in your personal life? What are you into? What sport?
Probably should be more into sport.
Yeah.
But I think what really drives me is probably not that young anymore, to be honest, in the scheme of things, and seeing someone else achieve something and realise their potential in something is more and more what drives me now. He's seeing, being able to help someone else. It's almost like I don't know how to put it, but
like a mentor type thing.
Yeah, but also your mental health or mental well-being.
Mm-hmm.
You find actually it helps that by helping someone else.
100%. Yeah, that's a really good way of looking at things.
Yeah, and definitely down the mentor road, that happens at all levels, I suppose.
Yeah, it does. Whether you're the mentor or the mentee, I think it's always good. Or a lot of good things come from that when two people come together. Whoever's the E or the or, I think it's great when those kind of relationships can flourish, whether it's inside work or outside work. Mm-hmm. And like you said, it kind of intertwines with that whole always learning and learning how to learn thing. And I think we can all take a lot of, we can take a lot away from that. And have a look at ourselves and how we're going about things.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And sometimes I think the thing with like the mentor-mentee relationship, sometimes you're not aware that that's what's happening. Sometimes you might find yourself in a position where you are someone's mentor just because that's the way it is. And you can often look back retrospectively and be like, wow, that was a powerful relationship that happened there between two people, and XYZ was achieved,
Yeah, absolutely.
Well,
and it's influence, isn't it? You're either being influenced or you're influencing someone. With, like you say, whether you're aware of it or not. And I think that's critical.
Yeah. I think it's important to always, I guess, to be aware that you might not always be aware of of those relationship dynamics. Someone could be looking up to you, or you might be looking up to someone. You might not label it as that, but there's always good that can come from it. If you act if you're true to yourself and true to the, especially if you're speaking from in a company domain, if you're true to the values, and you're acting in the best interest of the company, then you're always going to win in that regard, I think.
Absolutely, it's critical about the values, isn't it? And I think the key one there is kindness. That's what underpins who we are, and really I think is a testament to how far we come as a team.
Yep,
it's a critical value.
Yeah, well, you see a lot. I mean, we do see a lot of that around. I think that's something we do really well as a company. Kindness is one of our values, and and you see it at all levels, and you see, just as you were speaking about the mentor sort of roles, they're kind of everywhere, even cross departments and everything, and like you say, that they may not be recognised right at the time, but you kind of have that overarching kindness and respect for each other, and that sort of brings the best out of people. And I guess that's helped you sort of get to now where you're flourishing in a new role yourself as well. Like, you've got other people who are helping you from the top down and seeing where your strengths are and actually putting the time and care into you, and now you're reaping the benefits of that as is the business, and it sort of works all around like that, doesn't it?
Absolutely. It reminds you of that saying, we stand on the shoulders of those that have gone before us.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing truer than here.
Yeah.
It's a cumulative effect of passing on knowledge, support, and then you do end up with greatness.
Mm.
Yeah.
Very good. Barry.
That's good. That's
some
nice,
deep stuff there.
That is. That's great.
Yeah, it
Sorry.
is. It is. No, it's good. It's what we like to get into.
One thing to lighten it a little level lower. I know you are potentially one of the biggest West Coast fans here. What are your tips for this year for West Coast? Where do you reckon we're gonna be come the season end?
You're really talking to the wrong guy. Yeah. you know that between me and you and the tip.
But I think you're the tipping champ, haven't you?
No. You're always going to support. You got to stay true, don't you? Stay true to the team. Back them in. But they're top 6 maybe.
Giving us a top 6.
Yeah, bit optimistic, but
That is.
I want to go there. Yeah.
Wow.
Who do you reckon's going to win
Heard
the
it
flag?
here first.
No idea at this
No
point.
idea.
No.
Collingwood, surely. Okay.
You would. I think that's quite likely that they're surely going to be better than last year.
Mhm.
But there's a couple other teams knocking down the door.
Yeah, there is.
They'll be hard to beat, won't they?
There will be, but I think there'll be some new runners out the gate, I reckon, at the start of the year.
Hopefully.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. Well, that's a good way to wrap things up, I think, Baz. Thanks for taking some time out of your day and sitting down with us and chatting about a few different things. Some of the insight that you were able to bring was awesome, and I think touching on some of this stuff is great for our listeners and for myself and Jake as well to learn a little bit about. So thank you, Barry. Thank you, Jake.
Thank you.
Wrapping up episode number 10, right?
Thank you.
And yeah, good episode, enjoyable chat, great guy in Barry. But yeah, that wraps things up there. We'll see you all next time. Cheers, guys.
Thank you.